What's up, Love Livers? It's finally time for us to go over the fourth poll for the Muse as voted by you guys. If you still haven't had a chance to vote in the fourth poll for Aquaz or Nijigaku, the poll is still up. I'll keep them up for a bit longer before I close it because those will be coming up very soon. In this poll I had my viewers rate all the girls for the Muse from 1 through 9, which 1 being the best girl, 9 being the worst girl. As a disclaimer, this poll had 953 votes. This is not an official poll, but this is something that I hosted for you guys to vote in, and I can give a little insight on what characters people like. So let's see how the girls perform this time. In 9th place, with an average of 6, we have Hanyo Koizumi. So Hanyo has a 4-peat for last place. Each time the poll has grown a lot, but even as the poll has grown, Hanyo's average has not gotten any better. She has the biggest drop in average from the last poll, so that doesn't help her out too much. She has the least amount of first place votes with 69 or 7% of total votes. And she also has the least amount of second place votes on top of that. She has the most amount of 7th, 8th, and 9th place votes. 23% of her votes gave her last place. Hopefully this doesn't discourage the Hanyo fans out there, because they should know that she's often not viewed as anyone's favorite and often least favorite. But it just shows that Hanyo fans aren't coming to my polls and voting, so maybe you guys are not getting the word out or something like that. But maybe she'll reach new horizons with an 8th place someday. In 8th place, with an average of 5.24, we have Nico Yazawa. That's 2 in a row for her. Her most common placing is 9th place with 180 votes, though Nico does have the second most amount of first place votes. Nico is very much a very decisive character. Most people either really like her or really hate her, and these votes really show that. In 7th place, with an average of 5.18, we have Honoka Kosaka. So Honoka is consistently above the bottom. She has 2 8th places and 2 7th places, and she rarely is hated or loved. She has the second least amount of first place votes, but she also has a relatively low amount of last place votes at 79. Her most common placing is 5th with 141 votes. She has a decent amount of votes in the middle placings, but a little more focused towards the bottom, which gives her 7th place. In 6th place, with an average of 4.94, we have Ellie Aise. Ellie has also had a low amount of extreme love or hate, just like Honoka. She has the 3rd least amount of first place votes, but she also has the 2nd least amount of first place votes. Ellie has the most 3rd place votes with 130. Beyond that, it's pretty spread out. Ellie's been pretty average in the rankings, and she's not far from even getting 4th place. In 5th place, with an average of 4.93, we have Umi Sonoda. Umi is more average than Ellie is. Her votes are pretty spread out. Her least common placing is 9th with 87 votes, and her most common placing is 4th with 120 votes. No one has a smaller range than Umi and Nozomi in this poll. In 4th place, with an average of 4.91, we have Rin Hoshizora. Rin has the 3rd least amount of 9th place votes. Her most common placing is 6th with 129 votes. Rin has got a 4th despite getting the 2nd worst differential from this last poll to this current poll, so that shows that she's been doing pretty well recently. She's gotten a 2nd, 3rd, and a 4th, so Rin is still in a pretty decent spot. In 3rd place, with an average of 4.84, we have Nozomi Tojo. Like Umi, she has the smallest range in votes. Her least common placing is 5th with 89 votes, and her most common placing is 1st place with 122 votes. Nozomi has the 3rd most first place votes, giving her a great boost. She was the 2nd most improved from last time in terms of average, and Nozomi is consistently getting 5th place, but now she's gotten her best placing at a 3rd place. In 2nd place, with an average of 4.68, we have Kotori Minami. That's 2 in a row. Kotori has the least amount of first place votes with 67, or just 7% of the votes. She also has 85 votes for 8th, so she gets very little hate. Her most common placing is 4th place, 125 votes. Kotori did improve from last time, but not by a huge amount. She was the 3rd most improved overall though, but she did not win. So who did?
The winner of the 4th Muse poll goes to the one who rules over all the other idols. The winner is the one who captures everyone's hearts and the one who gets the crown, making the Queen of Muse. That goes to none other than the incredible and seemingly invincible Maki Nishikino!
So Maki wins with an average of a 4.29. Does not come as a surprise. Maki has gotten a lot of first places, and she's gotten a three-peat. Maki has the most amount of second and first place votes. 18% of voters gave Maki a first place. In terms of last place, she got the 5th most, so not that great, but it's not that much more than the other girls, so it's okay. And when I say hate for last place, that's not necessarily hate, but least liked is probably the best word. And Maki is not disliked that much overall. And also, Maki also improved the most from last time, so overall, she had a pretty complete victory. So now let's go look at the demographics of the viewers. I have asked for gender, age group, and country, so I'll look to see who is the favorite and least favorite from each demographic. So just as an FYI, the ones I highlighted in red, it's the worst average in that sector. Brown or bronze is 3rd best, gray silver is 2nd, and yellow or kind of a goldish color is the best in that section. To save you some time, I know got last place in literally every single section, so I won't even mention that because you already know the answer to that. So let's start off with gender. Here is the distribution for gender. So a good amount of females are doing this poll. So Maki is the clear favorite for males, and with the best average period of pretty much every section that I looked at. And she is followed by Kotori and then Umi. Nozomi did do a bit worse for males though. For females, Nozomi takes 1st, Maki gets 2nd, and Rin takes 3rd. Beyond that, there are small shifts, but nothing too big. Now if you look at the difference between the two genders, it is interesting to see how different the views are. Maki is liked by males a lot more than the females. Females like Nozomi a lot more. Females like Nico more overall, while males tend to prefer Kotori and Honoka, but not as big as a divide as Maki or Nozomi is. Now let's take a look at countries. So now for countries, I did look at US males and females because the US is pretty dominant in these polls. So I'm going to take a look at males and females of US, and I'll look at other grouping of countries or continents, I guess I should say. So for US males, we have Kotori falling a little bit back, but she still takes 2nd place. You know, same thing goes for Maki. She falls a little bit back, but beyond that, it's pretty similar to just the male grouping overall. For US females, Nozomi takes 1st, Rin gets 2nd, and somehow Nico gets 3rd place somehow, some way. Now let's take a look at all the European countries. Maki gets 1st, Kotori gets 2nd, and Nozomi gets 3rd. Europe actually kind of follows the trend pretty well here, so there's not too much of a stark difference. And then for Asian countries, Maki gets 1st, Umi gets 2nd, and Nozomi gets 3rd. So Maki gets love worldwide. It fluctuates a little bit from country to country, but Maki doesn't get as much love from US females. Asians tend to like Umi a bit more, Europeans like Ellie a bit more, and Americans kind of like Nozomi a bit more. The last group to look at is for age group. So the group I'm going to focus in is the 10 to 14 first. And we end up getting Maki getting 1st as normal. Then we get Nozomi at 2nd and Kotori at 3rd. Nico does a great amount better than her overall average though, so that is something notable for these young viewers. The next group is the 15 to 20 year olds. This is the largest group by far and really dominates. So it's going to follow the trend pretty well. It makes sense because that is generally the main demographic for anime watchers. We're having Maki getting 1st, Kotori getting 2nd, and 3rd goes to Nozomi. Maki doesn't perform as well in this group, but she still does pretty well, to be honest. And then lastly, I'm going to group all the other groups of 21 and older. We have 1st place goes to Maki, 2nd place goes to Kotori, and 3rd place going to Ellie. Notable though, Nico does way worse, and Nozomi doesn't do as great either. So overall, young people tend to like Nico more. Makes sense because she's more goofy and relatable to young viewers. Older viewers don't care as much for Nico Nozomi, they don't care as much for those antics. So the last thing to do is go to look at subunits. So this is the first time I asked people to rank each subunit. 1st place goes to the best subunit in their mind, and 3rd place goes to the worst. So BB wins as I expected them to. Lily White kept it reasonably close, and then Printemps gets absolutely destroyed as expected. Printemps is clearly the least liked group, as 50% of voters gave it last place, and only 15% of people gave it a 1st place, so It's clear that most people generally prefer BB, but there's a still decent amount that still prefer Lily White. And then there's a very small majority who cares about Printemps. So of course BB's won almost every single one, although a little older people kind of shifted towards Lily White. So here's an overview of all the stats for you guys to look over. This is available on my Google Sheets if you wish to look at them, and check a link in the description if you want to get a full look at this, as well as looking at some previous results, or watch some of my other videos if you want me to explain and get a detailed look at some previous polls, as well as all the other groups. So as I promised, I will list all the participants. Thank you to all of the participants here. There are so many more participants, so I decided to switch up how I listed, because now there's 500 people who want in there to be credited for this. So thank you to all, but it's getting much harder for me to display everything. But I'm more than happy to, of course, take this as a way to say, oh no, I shouldn't do this anymore. But no, absolutely not. The more the merrier. Sure, it's more work for me, but I'll live. It's fine. But I appreciate all of you comment as well. I try to look through all the comments as well. I picked up some of you here. So some people like to explain why. Of course, I really like to see that, and try to give why some people might like some of the lesser characters, or why some people like the popular characters, not because, oh, it's just because they're number one because everyone says so. So it's really cool to see how people would like, say, Hanyo or Maki or Nozomi or whatever, and they can explain why. And I think I would like to show it to you guys so you can also see why. So once again, thank you to all the participants, and thanks to all who gave demographics. It's really cool to see trends amongst the groups you belong to, and I got way more people voting this time, so probably next time we might hit over 1,000 voters. So of course, I'll be opening up a new poll for the Muse. Thank you for watching, and voice your opinions in the poll. Of course, this is going to be just like it was last time. You can vote for some units as well. Just make sure you give 1 to your favorite, 9 to your least favorite. And if you want to put in demographics, please do. It'll help me be able to draw some trends. If you don't agree with these rankings, let your opinion influence the polls. Let your opinion be voiced through your vote. The more, the merrier. Get your friends to vote as well. The link to all the polls are in the description, especially if you want to vote in the ones that are coming out really soon. Stay tuned for Aqua's results. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you guys in another video soon.